Alright, just a situation we have on this U250 valve body. Went ahead and marked out the spots that you're supposed to check with the vacuum tester. And you can see there's quite a few on the U250. And most of these are checking out okay. Some are a little weak. Some of this is going to be addressed in the zip kit. And the keeper just fell out. Be careful of your keepers falling out. But I got a bigger problem than some of these valves being wore out. Some of these valves are just flat stuck, and I mean stuck. This one here was stuck backwards. It was sitting in about like that. And the reason I noticed that it was stuck was that when I vacuum tested this, it registered 0. And I've already worked on this valve just a little bit, and it's not wanting to free up. So this one over here is stuck. This one right here is just flat seized. I don't know if we may end up getting a valve body for this thing. I don't know. I've already tried. Sometimes you can get like a bushing driver, something flat and hard, and you can kind of bang on it in the area where it's stuck, and it helped a little bit. It did move just a tad just then. So this valve body is going to take a lot of work, and this may be one of them rare instances where I'm taking every valve out of here so I can work on this. So what I either do in that case, I got these little trays here from LubeGuard, and I can either lay all my valves out on here so they don't get messed up, or I get a rag and I lay it down beside it, and I take each valve bore and I take everything out of it and lay it in the sequence that it goes up to the end, and then I'll take another rag on the other side. If there's valves going this way, I'll put another rag down here. If they're going up this way, I'll put one up here, so I keep everything in the proper order that it goes. So this valve body's in really bad shape. I think I'll take the valves out first. We'll see if we can get it to free up. If I'm having too much trouble with it, I'm just going to make them via valve body. I won't even bother to try to put the zip kit in it. So let me get all the valves out, and we'll go from there. I got to thinking, might as well just film the whole thing about doing this valve body. I've already taken this bore out. Some things you need to keep in consideration is be careful when you're taking these valves out, especially the plastic ones, is that you don't screw up any of the edges of the bore, scratch it and nick it and all that kind of stuff. Also pay attention, like this one right here is our pressure regulator. It's got an adjustment on it, so we need to know where the adjustment is at and remember it. So we got this area here. Here's the lowest setting, the next highest, and the highest setting is right there. So we're in the second to the lowest setting for this valve right here, so we need to remember that when we go back together. Otherwise we're going to have issues as far as shift feel and all that. So we don't want it to be different than it was before, because the customers are going to complain. So we need to keep it where it was. So sometimes there's a hole on the back side where you can push the pins out. This one is not the case, so And I think this is the valve that's seized. So we may have a hard time getting this pin out. See if we can get a small pair of dikes on here. Kind of push our pin out. This valve body here is going to take a lot of time. I think it shall be a video unto itself. So our pin's out. Our little plug is going to come out now. It's seized up inside there. I should get this in a zip kit though. Okay, grab it on the end out here because it doesn't go into a bore. See if I can get this at the end here. Should go all the way through. Gentle taps on here. This is going to require a different valve anyway, but it should come in the zip kit like I said. It is severely worn, so whether we get one in the zip kit or not, we're going to have to order this one. And we're going to see if we can get this valve out the back side here. This is where you keep your scribes that are broken. See, I got different lengths here, so I can do and get into different areas and push on valves. And I might need one that's a little bit shorter than another one. So I never throw my scribes away when they get broken. There's always some other use for them. Go. And we're going to need to look down in this bore here and see if we're worn out. It's got somewhere. I don't know. See what the rest of this valve body looks like. There's a little sleeve on this one. This should come in the zip kit too. Let's see if we can get it out of there. I'm sure it's going to be worn out. Most of these sleeves are. And it's starting to come. There we go. It's seized up. It's severely worn. Spring. And let's get this other valve out of here. Yep. Got a washer on the end of that. Let's get this one out. Sometimes you can get in here with like the test plate from Sonex, and you can get behind the valve and blow them out. We got some discoloration right there, so this valve is probably worn out. See what this board looks like. Still another valve in there. Let's see if we can get in here and get this out. Block that hole back there. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe get in here with a paper clip. See if we can push on it. There she's coming. close, getting close. Sometimes you just have to get ingenious about ways to get that stuff out of there, because you never know what's going to work. Right there at the end. So close. There we go. Finally. Alright. Looks like we got one left. Another sleeve. This should come in the zip kit also, and it's more than likely wore out. Almost every one of these are. Yep, it's severely worn too. Alright. See how we can get behind it here. Valve. Alright, we're going to go wash this housing. We're going to look down in these bores and see how wore out it really is. Alright, now look down inside these bores with the flashlight. I'm on light. Look down inside. Now we're gonna shine the light down the bores and look on the edges right up inside here, all around the best we can, and look for discoloration. It'll be obvious when you see it that it's got wear, because it'll look different. That bore looks pretty good. This one here. Look on this side. Looks okay. I don't see nothing obvious there. I don't see nothing obvious there. This one we're going to have to look from the other side. See nothing there. Alright, this one is our pressure regulator, and we do have some wear. Not horrible, but there is some wear right up in this edge right over here. I don't know if it's enough to be super concerned about. If I can't get this valve to free up anyway, it's not going to matter. So I guess the first deal is we're going to see how free we can get it. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see if I got the bore reamer for this bore, and we may just put the valve in there. Before I go through all that trouble though, I'm going to take this part of the valve body apart and see how bad we are, especially on this one right here. This is the one that's really stuck. This one and this one right up here. See how bad that is, and then we'll just determine if we're going to bore this valve body out or not. So let me clear this out the way and we'll go through this part. Alright, we're on this half of it now. We're going to put everything that faces this way over here, everything that faces this way over here. This valve right here is pretty bad about being worn out. Got a keeper here we're going to have to push out. We need to pay attention to which way the little leg is facing. It's facing back towards me, so we need to set it out just like that. This one's stuck pretty good. See if we can give it a couple whacks. That one went flying out. So I'm going to go hunt all that stuff down. It's another thing you need to be careful of when you're doing that. You might pop some of the other ones out. Sometimes you might have to go off to something else and come back to that one. Sometimes it takes really drastic measures to get something out. So that one's stuck in there pretty good. I'm going to go on to this one. Alright, luckily the spring, the keeper, and the valve was all here. All I have to do is go find the end plug. And it was easy to find. So now we're going to put another rag over here. And we're going to take all this off of this side. Put over here. Oh, little slivers of metal all getting stuck in my hand. Kind of smarts. Goddammit. Alright, where are you at? There it is, right there. Crap hurts. Alright. Alright, there's one of our stuck valves. It is a little bit freer than the others have been, so here we go, it just freed up. It's another trick that you can use to get stuff out. Sometimes if it's got the spring behind it, you can pull the valve back and let it go, and it might knock it out of there. This valve right here is usually pretty bad about being worn too. Another sleeve. I'm sure this one's worn out. Most of these are. Yep, and we're out right up here. Right down in the bottom over here. That should come in the zip kit. And this should be our last valve other than our accumulators. This one here is stuck also. See if we, there we go. It should come out now. Now, we can push it out. And be careful of our end plug, don't go flying out. And our end plug's coming out. Go. Now, where'd my magnet go? go. Yep. Oh, here it is. Sitting over here. It's not enough. See if we can get behind it. Here we go. Alright, should be able to get a pair of pliers on it now. Alright, now we gotta try to get this one out. Now we can smack on it pretty good. Sometimes you can take some of this like Aerocoil or PB Blast, spray it down in the bore, get your valve to working back and forth a little bit, and it might free it up. There we go. Now we got our springs. Now I'm going to go wash this up and I'll check out these bores. Alright. I'm going to look down in these bores again like we did the other one. Alright. A little bit of wear right back here. Not terrible. A little bit of wear right back here on this side. It's not terrible. Alright, I think I'm just going to buy the pressure regulator valve. I have the reamer for it, so that's probably the only one I'm going to end up replacing. And we'll get that here and we'll show you how this is all done. Okay, this is how I'm going to do my valve body. In the bores, I got this came from GM, but most cleaning gun cleaning kits, a lot of them have brushes like this, so you can probably get it from there. I don't know if GM even sells this anymore. Back when I worked for them, we used to use these for cleaning throttle bodies, the ports inside the throttle bodies, and I don't even remember what the part number was. I bought a crap load of them back when I worked there, and these work great for valve bodies. You just get in here into the bore. I put this, go out to the solvent tank. I got solvent running in here, and I just sit there and work this back and forth. And you can even get bigger ones if you got them. You want to just be able to kind of work out the metal that might be kind of sticking to the edges in there, and that's what I do there. And then for my valves, I just go to the grocery store, got the Scotch-Brite pads, and I just take a strip. I usually cut it about yay wide, and then I just cut this in half, and I'll go out to the solvent tank again, and I'll take my valves, and I'll be running around the edges here. You can even do the plastic ones with it. Just don't get too radical with it. You don't want to mess up the valves in any way. You don't want to start taking the finish off the plastic valves. And that's what I'm going to do. Use air coil or PB blast to get the valves lubed up, and then we'll see how free everything gets. Okay, on the valves that the spring is on the top side, it's not underneath it. I'm just going to lube the valve up. Oops. I'm going to put the valve in the bore. I'm going to make sure it just falls all the way down on its own. I'll tell you what, this day is every 5 minutes I'm getting interrupted. Alright, the ones that have the spring underneath of it, we're going to take and lube the valve up, and then put it all in. Make sure the spring's all the way down at the bottom, and we're going to take our valve and we're going to stroke it a bunch of times, however much it takes. Make sure that valve is super free, and then we're going to put our end plug in, and our keeper in. And everything came out really nice and free on this valve body, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna have to put that pressure regulator, this valve in. Actually, it comes as a whole kit, but the zip kit's coming with the front half of the valve. It comes with this part of it already, so I'm going to have an extra one of these. But this, normally it takes a reamer jig to put these all in, and you got to line the jig up and make sure everything's straight before you ream it. This particular valve does not. All it requires is this tool to line everything up. You don't have to put it in the jig. And then we're just going to ream this out with the speed handle or a drill, if you have a drill that'll fit it, that doesn't turn more than 250 to 300 RPMs. So it has to be really slow turning. Speed handle works just fine. And once the valve gets here, we'll show you how that's done. Alright, we got the reamer here. And this type of jig, it doesn't matter so much. You just need to make sure it's all the way down. You need to know where the end of your ream is going to be. It's going to be all the way down here, so I need to make sure that I get all the way down there. Now, if this was a type that needed to be held in that jig that Sonax has, you don't want to take this thing off until you make damn sure that you're all the way into the bottom of your bore, because you'll never get it lined back up properly. But with this